Hi everyone, it's Vicky. I wanted to show you something that I've got for this year, 2020. I went to Welker, you can see the name there, and I bought this for £5. And it's like a traveler's notebook, and it came with 4 books, but I wanted a junk journal insert, so I'll show you their books. So there's the one book, it's got lines and it says notes on it. The second book says this year and it's got a few things there. None of them are dated so that you can't use it any year. See, it's got no 2020 on it or days of the week. And this one says don't quit, and it's dots. So I've started writing in those 3 books. There was another book, like a daily diary book, but I didn't want to use that for this journal. So I took out that one that was there. It left one elastic for another insert, and I made myself a insert, like a traveler's notebook, but it's not a traveler's notebook because it's half of an A4 page. So this is the size of a printer page, and then I've just folded it in half because that's the size that is. So it's actually A5. So that's the cover and the books, and this is the book that I made. So it's a junk journal style. The cover was from a calendar, but it was very bright and I needed to tone it down a bit because the colors inside are quite quiet. So I took some gesso and first I smeared it in with the cloth, and then I went around and I just did the edges with a little paintbrush. So it's given it a lovely mottled look and a softer look. My scripture that I wanted to use for this month was the Lord is my shepherd, Psalm 23, and this is like fields and there's some sheep there and there's a little road there. There's no water, but I thought that was a really nice cover for January. So this will be my January junk journal. So you can see there's the little dots from where it got pulled out of the calendar, and I've sewn it onto a piece of scrapbooking card. I didn't put any pockets in yet. So there's scrapbooking cardboard there, and there is a piece of paper from a calendar there. So on the inside I've got a postcard, the back of a postcard. I've put in some tea-dyed paper, so this is just a piece of tea-dyed paper folded in half, and this is a bag that's been made from tracing paper. I don't have any glassine bags, so I just make my own tracing paper bags, which work well for me. This is a piece of paper from an offcut from a magazine, but I like the color, so I've sewn that down, and it's tea-dyed. This was a piece of wallpaper. I got a lovely roll of wallpaper, and I've been using it to make gift bags and pages in journals. And this is a piece of paper from a magazine. This is a tag from something, and I thought it was very pretty, but it had some writing on it, so I've done gesso over it to get rid of that writing, and then I've stamped some text over the top. And there is some lace sewn onto the edge of that page. This is a digital printable. I'll put the link below. This is from a magazine, and it's some European places. I don't actually know where they are, but I thought they were pretty. And there's a piece of tea-dyed paper. This was an envelope, so you can see that was the flap, and I've cut it down on that side and that side, and I've sewn it in to make a piece of paper. But it was very bright. It had a blue on the back here, which I've done gesso over, and then here it had a lot of writing on it, so I've done gesso over it. But then I've also printed out some song lyrics and I've glued them over the top, and I've put some little flowers. They're paper flowers, and they've got like little plastic gems in the middle. This is some lovely handmade paper. I don't know what it is. It almost looks like feathers. But anyway, it's a handmade paper, and you can see it's got a lovely sheer design to it. And this is also wallpaper, but this is called wallpaper liner, I think. And I bought a roll of this because it's got such a nice feel, and it's thick, and yeah, I think you put it under wallpaper, but I put it into books. And this is just a piece of scrapbooking card, and I've sewn it in. And that is a digital printable, and I'll put the link below. I think this was from Graphics Fairy. And this is some packing paper. And this is from one of those Royal Historical sites that we've been visiting, and then they give you a map when you arrive. So I've used part of the map for something else. This was the part that was left. I did like that. I thought it was pretty. But this side had a whole bunch of writing that I didn't really need. So I've done gesso over, and then I've edged it with a bit of distress ink, and then I'll probably glue something over there afterwards. This is some, I don't know, maybe like greaseproof paper. It came from some pies that we had, and so I really like that, so I've saved that. That is some graph paper, some music paper that I've done some gesso. So you can see I did a lot of gesso in this journal, and I've used that little scrap there as a tab because I thought it was quite pretty. So here's another envelope that I've used, but this one I've used like an envelope, so you can still tuck things in there. It was a dark brown, so I've done gesso and I've aged it a bit. I didn't cover all that up there. And then I've lined it with some paper, and it's the same digital paper as here. This is a piece of writing paper. Here's another envelope that I used. So here you can see the front of the envelope. I've done a lot of gesso to try and dull all the writing that was there. When I was drying it, I melted the plastic that was in there, and it just shriveled up to nothing. So what I did was I took it off, I did gesso, I aged it a bit, and then I've glued on a little piece of tracing paper, so you can still see through it, but it's not plastic. So that's a way that you can save those window envelopes if you can't dry them easily. And there's some more of that digital paper, and I've put a piece of lace on the edge of that. This is a page from a book, and I've done gesso there. It looks a bit messy. I'm planning to just stick something over the top of there, but when I get to this part in the journal, I'll deal with that. I liked it because of these old books. And I've done gesso on the back, and this is more music paper. And then this paper is from a restaurant that we love, and it's also like a greaseproof paper. This is tea-dyed, lined paper. And then to go with my scripture, the Lord is my shepherd, I found a nice picture with sheep, and that's in the middle there. And I like the way this looked with this green. I quite like that fresh look for the middle of the book. It's been sewn together with this green and white twine. I don't know if it's butcher's twine or baker's twine, but anyway, it's sewn together with that. And you can see I've done gesso again on the back of that page. That is the other half of that book page. I have done gesso again. I've edged it with some ink. I know it's torn. I'm going to leave that. I think it might be a nice place to put a piece of washi tape. So I thought I'll just leave it like that, and I just love that. So this page has got some more lace. It's a digital printable. This is the other half of that envelope. The writing paper. Here's the other half of that big brown envelope. So I've lined that side, and I've also lined this side so that when you look through that little window, you see something pretty. And here's the other half of that map paper. This I could make it into a flip out, but for now I'm just going to leave it how it is. And the packing paper and the printable. And that's that wallpaper that you put under wallpaper, and I've sewn on some paper there, the handmade paper, the envelope, the other half of that magazine page, So thanks for watching, and let's just put it back, and I'll show you how easy it is to put back into this cover. So that's it. My journal in the cover, and you can see it fits nicely, but obviously it's very different to the ones that were included. Thanks for watching. Bye.